What's up? Welcome back. You know what time it is. It's been a while. A lot has been going on. I am on fast. I'm about 45 hours, sorry, 45 hours into a dry fast. It's a soft dry fast, meaning no food or beverage, but I am brushing my teeth and bathing. A hard dry fast would be not touching any water or liquid or food at all. Well, you could touch food if you were preparing it or something like that, but you wouldn't be washing your hands, you wouldn't be brushing your teeth, you wouldn't be allowing anything to enter into your system. And maybe still in some countries there are people who do this as a part of their society where they don't touch anything that has any chemicals or foreign non-natural substances. So you don't really know all the time what's in your toothpaste, what's in your water, if it's coming from the city or wherever you get your water from, if it's got uh, pesticides run off in it, if you're trying to be natural but you're pulling water from a well. There are so many ways that chemicals and products that we don't want to touch our skin, because our skin is an organ and it absorbs most everything that we come in contact with. So there are people that probably still do have those elements in their society, but it's not too easy to capture in the modern society. And for many cases, it's for good reason, because you have to ensure that bacteria or whatever potential issues that could take place in our water systems don't happen, um, and we don't spread germs or plague or whatever else could be uh, obtained by not having sanitary systems. So appreciate you all for joining in, and if you have any questions, please do just put them in the chat. I'll try to address anything that I see. And what I have here is apple, pineapple, cantaloupe, cucumber, beetroot, and some pre-cut watermelon. And we're gonna juice this, and this is gonna be what I have first in breaking the fast today. I got a couple hours before I break the fast, and I like to do it with uh, foods that have nutritional value, high nutritional value. So I've already pre-cut almost everything, and the way I'm going to feed the juicer is by putting everything in quarters. So it doesn't really matter the amount, but as long as it's in proportion to what I have. So I have one thick slice of pineapple. I have uh, three apples that I cut up, two that I cut up in quarters, and one that I cut in half. So I'm gonna cut that one into quarters, and then the cucumber. Very simple. Don't want anything rolling off. Take the apple here. Leave that one there. Now, to prepare everything, I went ahead and I rinsed all the fruit that didn't have a skin that I removed. So the cucumber and the apples, they did a vinegar water soak. 1 part vinegar, 2 parts water. Uh, I don't know what the duration of time I left it in, but it was long enough, that's for sure. And then I rinsed it with just fresh water from the tap after that to get the vinegar flavor off. So we're just gonna load this baby up and have at it. So 1/4, I have 9 pieces of apple, and probably should have cut them into equal quarter. So 9 divided by 4. That would be about 2 per, yeah. So that'll work. So I got 2 in there. All right, perfect. So everything is evenly divided, and I need to do one more cut on my beetroot to get that into quarters. Beetroot we're not going too heavy with today because it is going to be red no matter what. You can put a little bit of beetroot in there and this baby is going to turn red. So got the juicer loaded up. The on button is in the back. This thing's going to make a little bit of noise, so you can just watch as we go, and we're off. Fill it back up again. Equal proportions. I didn't even take the seeds out of that, so we'll see what happens. Good catch. This is probably going to be the last load for this jar. And planning on breaking the fast with the juice. That'll be an easy way to kind of ease back into taking on foods. The waste, by the way, we're using for composting that is going to go in the garden. Have a couple butternut squash that have sprouted and watermelon seeds from last season that have sprouted. So excited about that, and we'll see what it yields this year. This is actually my first time I'm joining in on a family member that's already gardening. So I did have some seeds that I was germinating, cantaloupe specifically, but I never got them to fruit. I didn't take enough time, and then I didn't really have the I did have the space, but anyway, I didn't take care of getting those cantaloupes to grow, basically. good. Looks good. All right, now it's the last load. Let's see how it goes. Don't forget to listen to your body. Listen to what your body is saying. If your body loves it, give it more. All right, here we are. This smells so good. And I know it's going to taste so good. I got a couple hours before I want to break the fast, even with liquid. So I want to get to that 48-hour mark. And I am not going to taste this live now. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, let it cool, and then when it's time, maybe drop a cube of ice in, maybe not, and have a nice refreshing juice. I do love to eat all of these fruits whole, and there's benefit in the fiber. Of course, this will be very sweet because the cantaloupe and the pineapple are sweet. The apples are sweet as well. So this will be kind of high in sugar. For those of you that are diabetic and are concerned about uh, your sugar, this could potentially have an impact on increasing your sugar. But eating the fruit whole has a much different um, effect and impact on the body because the sugar is attached to the fiber. Uh, Cold pressing or any type of juicing will separate the fiber out, and then since we're going to dispose of it in the garden, it won't be being digested with the sugar that you're going to be taking in. But along with that, at least for me, is I'll be getting nutrition. So speaking about nutrition, I had a watermelon and ate the watermelon flesh, but then juiced the rind. So there was maybe just a little bit of pink, a little bit of red on the rind, and juiced everything from that little bit of meat to the green. Put it all in the hopper, juiced it, and the morning after, when you wake up, you might notice a difference. And that nitric oxide that's in the watermelon allows your blood vessels to basically dilate and open up and allow blood to flow. And yeah, blood was flowing. Um, you depending on what you have going on, your body's going to have a different effect. I do so many different things to manage and maintain a healthy blood pressure that 1 or 2 jars of watermelon rind water, plus eating the watermelon itself, had a significant impact overnight. Some of the other things that I do is eat whole cloves, which is great for the blood pressure. I like to add cayenne daily to whatever I'm having. It could be popcorn, it could be watermelon, it could be pineapple. And that does kind of get you into a point where you could cough or choke while having that cayenne go down the wrong way. Or if you're eating too fast and you forget that you put cayenne on it, and whatever you're eating tastes really good, but you're consuming it at too fast a rate, that cayenne will let you know you need to slow down. And that's one thing that I like. That's a byproduct benefit of eating cayenne, is it kind of forces me to remember to eat at a pace that is comfortable and suitable for the body, not to fulfill my need to eat, but to fulfill the need of supplying and delivering nutrition. And there's a whole lot that you can learn by eating slowly. And one way that I do that is I eat with my non dominant hand. And when you eat slowly, you'll begin to notice how much you're overeating because you don't wait for the food to make it to the body and allow the digestive fluid to begin to do its job. And by the time the signal is returned that you're, at capacity, you've already put uh, more food in process. So um, another thing I want to mention, I keep books around. This one in particular is a superfoods book. That's the name of the title. I keep books around just to make sure that I'm I'm learning about the benefits of the foods that are available, not just the foods that I know or have always known or are part of my routine. So this year, I'm sure I've added something new to my diet that I didn't know before. Sorghum. Sorghum is something that has been new to my diet, meaning I never had it before. And it's nutritionally rich. It's a good replacement for rice. It takes a little bit longer to cook, but it's nutritionally rich. Um, just making sure that you're aware of foods that can be an alternative to things that you currently eat, but could potentially have a higher nutritional value. Um, and just to add a little diversity to the palate, because as as you begin to grow your own foods, which I'm trying to get into, things are grown in seasons, and then there are going to be some things that you need to adapt to get the nutrition that you should be getting. If you want to substitute pasta, you can use other food products to create the pasta versus just the flour that could be ultra processed or enriched and all those other things. So keep that in mind. Keep some of the alternative food options in mind and get to know where your local health food stores are and get to know what's available in them, especially if there's things in there that you've never seen or heard of. Quinoa is another good example. It's relatively popular now. Being able to get quinoa almost anywhere in the United States is I think, relatively easy, especially with Amazon. And it's light, It's I believe it's low on the glycemic index. You won't have to worry so much about a sugar spike. I believe also that you wouldn't necessarily, in comparison to white rice, have to cool it or allow it to cool um, before eating, because eating warm, hot rice, fresh rice, uh, also can have an impact on your blood glucose level. So, those are some of the healthy habits that I've been participating in recently. I hope you guys are still stacking your healthy habits. This is, I think, maybe day 35 or something like that of doing 100 squats a day for, sorry, yeah, 100 squats a day for minimum was 30 days. And I hit that goal. For those of you who joined in, I hope you enjoyed and saw the benefits. I didn't post every day that the task or the workout, and that's because I was in different places and just doing life. But I managed to get them all in, and they're going to start uh, cycling through in the posts and updates. If you guys have any questions, or if you'd like to talk about things you can do to decrease your blood pressure naturally, please feel free to reach out. I'm on Instagram, amanilyfe on Instagram, and we can work on getting a consult together to talk about at least where you're at and some of the goals that you may have. Just by coincidence, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's dealing with a condition that's kind of arthritic in nature. And whole raw foods, if you're having joint issues, these foods right here that we just juiced, consuming them as they are in their natural state, especially if you can get organic, is one of the places to begin. The inflammation that's in our joints, in our bodies in general, uh, needs to be processed out. And the biggest thing you can do is to eliminate those things that cause inflammation. So, all the seed oils, canola oil, vegetable oil, peanut oil, sunflower oil, all those oils, trying to keep those out of your diet, which also means not having potato chips, ultra processed, bleached, enriched corn chips, flour, all those things that are easy to purchase when you're walking out the grocery store because they're right in the line while you're waiting to get uh, your food and groceries paid for. Those things are things you kind of want to leave in the store and replace them with natural raw peanuts, walnuts, pecans. These things are going to be more expensive, but when you look at the portion sizes that we're supposed to have them, I mean, I think Brazil nuts we should only have maybe 3 a day. So sometimes we get a little carried away with eating handfuls, especially with salted peanuts. You can just eat those forever, and the salted peanuts are not what we really want to have a healthy balance. We would rather have the raw nuts with the skin, because uh, the salt, you can't control the salt content, and more than likely they've also been heated or roasted. So there are alternatives to the junk food, the Twinkies, the whatever it is you eat, Star Crunch, Now Laters, all the stuff that you love, Boston baked beans, all that stuff. There are alternatives. Cake, sweet potato pie, all that. And which is one of the reasons that I'm doing a 2 day dry fast, is because I've been eating meat in proportions that I'm not accustomed to. And it's really a standard diet for a lot of people, eating meat multiple days in a row. But eating meat 2 days in a row for me is something that is new for me now. I've changed my diet so much that I don't eat a lot of meat, and I grilled some chicken, and it came out wonderful. And I was breaking all of my codes. So uh, to get myself realigned and back on track, which is cool, especially when you're spending time with people that you care about and enjoying yourself. Take your time and eat what you want to eat. But I was eating a lot of sweet potato pie, and I was eating some grilled chicken and some lamb and more meat than I normally eat. So to get back in line or back on task, I decided this week's fast was going to be a dry fast, and we're going to do 48 hours versus the 40-hour, usually liquid only fast that I do every week. So every week I fast for at least 40 hours a day, 40 hours a week, I'm sorry. And that fast usually consists of me consuming tea, herbal tea, some type of herbal tea without a sweetener, water, coconut water, or juice, fresh juice. And if you'd like to join, that's usually something that begins Monday evening at about 6 or 8 p.m. and then breaking fast on Wednesday at noon. So if you do that Monday evening at 8 p.m. to noon Wednesday, that's a 40-hour fast. If you start at 6, that's a 42-hour fast. I usually do the 42 just to make sure that I'm hitting that 40. If for some reason I am offered something to eat after the 6 o'clock time frame, and I want to be polite, or it's something that I love, I might have it, and then as long as I'm not eating after 8, I'm good. So appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, keep stacking those healthy habits.